Now guys, the regression line is y equals a plus bx. That is like the standard form of the least squares regression line. So what you're going to calculate is the value of a and the value of b. And how this question is always marked is you get 1 mark for a, you get 1 mark for b, and then you get a mark for the equation. So this question is always out of 3 marks. So you need to know how to find A, you need to know how to find B, but then you also need to know where must you put A and B in the equation. All right, B is always the number in front of X. If you mix those two up, you're not going to get the equation mark. All right, so again, we're going to type mode. Then you're going to choose either 2 for stat or 3 for stat, depending on which calculator you have. Now guys, if we look at the options on the calculator, which option kind of looks like what we're trying to find now? Option 2, hey, we are looking for y equals a plus bx, so we choose option 2 that says a plus bx. Now, because we put the frequency column on for our previous calculations, you'll see when I open mine, there is a frequency column. But guys, do I have a frequency column now that I need to fill in? Let's see, what are we actually finding this for? For the data given in the table. In the table, I just have an x and y. So what does that mean? What must I now do to get rid of that frequency column? Shift mode down until you get to stat, which is option 3, frequency off, so number 2. Okay, so those are the steps that we wrote down next to this table, next to the frequency table. How to turn the frequency on, you're going to follow all the same steps. Instead of selecting on in the last step, you're going to select off. Okay, now unfortunately we need to go through those same steps again. Mode, stat, 2 for a plus bx. Now that table looks like what we need. All right, so now you're going to type in all values. So type in all x and y values. Again, followed by the equals button. All right, so we can do that quickly. Guys, again, when you type your first x value into the calculator, I'll just show you what happens. So you're typing in x is 32. When you press equals, it makes y 0 automatically, which again is wrong, but I'm first just going to type in all my x values. Then I'm going to use my arrow to go back to the y values, and then I'll change them. All right, so you would just do that quickly. And here, guys, it's very important that you fill in these values in the correct order, because the numbers are given in pairs. You have to keep those pairs together. Right, so I filled in all my x values. Now to go back up to the top of the y column, you can just press down and then to the side. And now we're going to type in all our y values. Then you are going to press AC when you're done with that. Right, then again, we now need to do the calculation. So for that, we always press shift and then 1. Now, when we type that in, now we're going to get the same list that we used earlier. Now, guys, for the mean and standard deviation, we pressed var because we did 1 minus var for the first place where we typed in our values. Now we're looking for the regression line. So we're going to type 5 or choose option 5, reg. That is short for regression. All right, so option 5. And now you'll see you can find A or B or R, which is also something that they often ask us to calculate, the correlation coefficient. Or Y is what we're going to do, and we have to estimate the value. I'll show you now. All right, so for A, we're going to press 1. for A. And you then have to go through all your steps again. Shift, 1, reg. Then you're going to choose 2 for B. All right, number 3, and that is the next question, is to predict a value. There are 2 options here. The first option is to sub the given value into the regression line. Option 2 would be to type given value, then equals, then you're going to go shift 1. I don't have enough space now to list them underneath each other, so I'm just going to write it like this. 5 for regression, and then 5 for Y, and then equals. Right, but whatever is less of a hassle for you, you can decide. You don't have to do both options. You can just choose, do you want to just sub it in, or do you want to use the calculator for this?